Tribe Talks, and we have with us Dr. Ayan, and we've been speaking quite a bit about sleep and very interesting conversations. She's given us some wonderful strategies. She's spoken quite a bit of, on why you need more sleep scientifically, so that's a very good thing. And now we're going to get into the macro ecosystem.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the culture, does the culture in sport reward poor sleep habits? What do you think?
I think that in general, a lot of the culture, not just sport, but otherwise as well, we're kind of taught from stories and, how much people tend to, you sacrifice, he sacrificed or she sacrificed sleep.
That's definitely part of a glamorous story. This athlete sacrificed sleep, they sacrificed eating, they did this, which is not even good.
It's not feasible and it's not sustainable, right? And so, it's a big thing where, they stayed awake, all night, and they went early morning training sessions, and they did this, they did that. And I think it's sort of glamorized, like you said, in a lot of ways. And I think it's just a general culture, where, I get a lot of kids come in and, who are okay staying awake late in the night. Parents are okay, because it's exams. It's an exemption, exams mean. But actually, it's not something that's going to be sustainable over the longer period of time, you know. And that's where these sleep difficulties start coming into play, because suddenly you have these kids who are, sort of being told that, sleep is not essential, or, you just need X number of hours of sleep. But then with athletes, it's different, because they do need that extra recovery. And that extra sleep. So then, you have athletes who are not getting enough rest, not getting any recovery, and therefore going to be,
not able to perform properly.
Not able to just perform, but decision making, concentration, attention, all these factors are going to affect them, and then they're more likely to get injured, because they're just sometimes not able to pay attention or not able to concentrate on the task that's happening in front. So that's a huge risk again. So I think that it's important to create an awareness that sleep is good for you, sleep is important for you, and sleep is necessary to function,
Yeah, that's true. But I think there's another side in this entire spectrum. I think a lot of athletes get pressured about sleeping, because I think there are certain systems where, yes, they do take sleep very importantly, and they are forced to sleep early. So how do you think coaches, support staff, or even parents can talk about sleep and the benefits of sleep without really turning it into a pressure point?
Yeah, so I think what's important to first do is create an awareness about why sleep is important and why it's necessary for the athlete. So we need to start at basically at the very basics, which is, what is sleep? What does it do? How does it help you? I think if the athlete has more of an understanding of how sleep helps them, then they're more likely willing to participate in engaging in whatever is sleep-related information. And then I think it's important to get an idea about what the current sleeping patterns are and whether they require any changes. So just because you feel that, I'm not getting enough sleep, let me change that, but not necessarily the way you think that you're changing it is conducive. So for example, sometimes I get athletes who come to me and say, I tried going to bed early, but it still didn't help. I was then just lying awake in bed and I couldn't sleep, and then I woke up late anyways. And so that's where I go like, well, actually, it's not the going to bed that matters. It's when you're waking up in the morning that matters. Because if you wake up early in the morning, then you're going to feel tired earlier in the evening.
Exactly.
So, so they're trying to kind of work on those lines where, they feel, this might be the right way to do it. I think creating that awareness, talking to them, helping them understand how sleep helps, makes it feel less pressured, and then sort of then bringing in somebody who has the information about sleep and how to sleep and what are things they can do. And whether they need that improvement, because sometimes they're doing fine.
You don't need it, you're doing
sometimes they're doing absolutely fine, and you don't want to mess up something that's going absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely, yeah. If athletes have to remember just one thing from your work about sleep,
yeah.
what do you think they have to take away?
I think routine and consistency. Sleep at the end of the day is a behavior. So the more you sort of have good sleeping behaviors and the more consistently you follow them, the easier it is for you to get to sleep.
Is this where naps would help as well?
Naps would help, yes. So I would say, if an athlete if they're not getting, they don't have sometimes an opportunity to sleep. They sleep maybe 6-7 hours, then working with that, you can sort of strategically place naps in between to help them get that recovery. So you can work on what can be an effective time and how much the duration of the nap is, and factor that in so that you get that additional. And even with sometimes when I say 9-10 hours, it's not necessarily 9-10 hours at night.
A stretch.
Yeah, it could just be getting that good 7-8 hours, but then using the napping strategically to help them get the additional hours, maybe say before their evening training starts. So how you place that nap, how you do it depending on the sleep cycle, that matters.
Yeah.
But I would say having good pre-sleep routines, so at least 60 to 30 minutes before winding down, doing something calming, breathing, PMR, whatever it is to help them. So you have a little routine that you do, change your clothes, brush your teeth, get into bed, or
you're literally telling your mind, hey, you need to go to sleep now.
It sort of triggers that, it's time to go to sleep. And then that behavior, the more consistently you do it, the more it helps you. So then engaging in those behaviors when you travel, when you're competing, before competitions, it helps you just get to sleep a lot faster.
Absolutely. Understand. I know I have a lot more questions to ask you, but I'm going to save that for another day where we can talk at length about it, from issues to how this could become a stressor and all of that. But yes, thank you so much for being with us here today, and I hope everyone watches this. I really hope so. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here today, and it's always fun and always great to talk about how we can improve sport and performance all the time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.